What's up, guys? Welcome back to the week after, and today we are reviewing Post Malone's new album, 12 Carat Toothache. I feel like I had done a really good job kind of figuring out what I was going to say about what songs and what the best songs were, what the worst songs were, all that. And then after the album had been out for a few days, boom, deluxe edition song, we got 2 new songs. And I was like, well, now I got to rethink everything. Luckily, he made it nice and easy, though. Those 2 new songs, absolute banger. Some of the best. We'll get to that in a moment. Before getting too far into this, I think it's important to have a little bit of backstory. So, what has Post Malone been up to for the last few years? This is the longest he's gone without new music, and especially when you're in, the rap, pop, alternative, whatever you want to put him in, that's a really long time to go without new music, almost 3 years. Well, first of all, he started playing Magic the Gathering, which, I can respect. If you also like Magic the Gathering, links to my second YouTube channel, Geek and Seek, in the description. We do a decent amount of Magic the Gathering stuff on there. But he kind of lost his passion for music. And why force yourself to write music if you're not feeling it? He said that it kind of became a job for him. And he just needed to wait until the inspiration came back to him so it would be natural and he could push forward. As a songwriter myself, I get that. I go so long without writing songs sometimes because it doesn't feel natural to force it. So respect to him for being able to recognize that. On the downside, I will say that you can kind of hear that in 12 Carat Toothache. While I will say at the right up front, I do think that this album is actually really good. I do at least kind of like every single song on it, but I will say while Post Malone in general kind of gets better with every release he does, I do still kind of like Hollywood's Bleeding a little bit better, but I think there's a lot of elements on 12 Carat Toothache that I do really like. So let's get a little bit more specific. We'll go ahead and spend a little bit of time talking about the vibe, the production, the guest features, all that stuff. And then towards the end, we'll talk about some of the best and maybe some of the weaker songs. And again, I liked every song, but there are best and there are not as good songs. I feel like I shouldn't have to state this, but this is my own opinion, and I am very curious to know what your opinions are. So after you watch this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your top 3 songs are, and if you had to give this album a letter grade, what would you give it? All right, so as far as the flow of the album, I actually think it's stronger as it goes on, which I generally like that, but with Post Malone, I almost want it to start a little bit stronger. Reputation and Lemon Tree, while I do think that they're decent songs, having them as tracks 1 and 3, and then track 2 is Cooped Up, which also is a little bit on the lower energy side. It just feels like it takes a while for the album to really get started. I usually don't like a lot of the features on Post Malone's albums. There's definitely exceptions, but I'm not big on rap. I think morally it's a very corrupt genre. There's a lot of just, women, money, drugs, living for the world, and it's just not. There's not any substance. There's not much to take out of that. And a lot of the times, those are the kind of people he gets to feature on his song. So while I tend to like a lot of those songs, I don't tend to like a lot of the features. I will say, I do like most of the Weeknd stuff. I did an album review of his most recent album. Link to that in the description. But even then, I actually thought that that song, One Right Now, is actually a little bit weaker. I definitely think Hollywood's Bleeding had better features just in general. However, Fleet Foxes on Love Hate Letter to Alcohol, track 8, that is some good stuff. Same with the Kid Leroy on Wasting Angels. I hope I'm saying that right. Leroy? I don't know. I've never heard of these people. I live under a rock or something. But overall, I actually do think the flow of the album is pretty good. It is a little bit of a slower start than I would have expected from Post Malone, but I like a lot of the slower, vibey stuff, and, that's something he's become really, really good at. All right, let's talk about what I think the top 3 songs are. And again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments down below. But I think that these deluxe edition songs are amazing. If I had to put a top 3 together, I'd say those 2 bonus songs, Waiting for Never and Hateful, are definitely in the top 3. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol, featuring Fleet Foxes, Also a top song. It's just a really good vibey song, and there's a lot of passion behind it. It's something that Post Malone really struggles with, and when songwriters really write about something that matters to them and it's from the heart, those songs just stand up better. A couple honorable mentions, though. If I had to say that we couldn't include those bonus tracks for whatever reason, I would replace them with Wrapped Around Your Finger. I just think it's a really fun, upbeat song, definitely going on the summer playlist. And then the other one being I Cannot Be, a sadder song featuring Gunna. It kind of came down to a death match between that and Wasting Angels with the Kid Leroy. But I think I Cannot Be is just a little bit better. I think it's catchier and has a nice flow to it. And it despite being called a sadder song, it actually is one of the more fun and upbeat songs on the album. Bottom 3 songs, and again, I should clarify, this isn't that I don't like these 3 songs. I just think that they don't hold up quite as well as a lot of the other songs. Cooped Up, featuring Roddy Ricch. One Right Now, featuring The Weeknd. And Reputation. I just think Reputation is a really slow start, and I don't necessarily mind that. Hollywood's Bleeding started really slow, but there was a lot more growth in Hollywood's Bleeding, whereas Reputation, it kind of stays at the same energy level for the most part, though I will say the chorus is quite redeemable. Again, not to say that I dislike any of those songs, I just don't think that they hold up quite as well as the rest of it. So let's go ahead and think about, what do I think about the album in general? Again, I don't think it quite holds up to the power of his previous record, Hollywood's Bleeding, but the general feel and flow is really nice, and I like that a lot of it could go on my Drive and Vibe playlist, while also having a couple songs that are just good upbeat songs that I can throw on the summer playlist, and right as summer's starting too. Great timing on that. And I like that I can really feel the passion in Post Malone on the several of the songs on this album, because it really feels like he's grown a lot as a person in his time off. What I've always liked about Post Malone is I know that some people kind of put him in the rap category. I don't really. I put him as more as like a singer-songwriter who has like some rap-adjacent sounds. But him being a singer-songwriter, it allows him to be more personal and engaged and vulnerable even. And he's really brought it. I dig it a lot. Only other minor critique I would say is I really did enjoy his song Motley Crue, which was a single that he put out. I think it was last year that he put that out. And it easily either could have been on the album or on the deluxe edition. The style is very similar as far as its production. Maybe they thought it sounded too much like track 7, which was Insane, and they just wanted it to stand on its own. I don't really know what the reasoning behind that was. I thought it was a little odd, but I still like to buy physical albums, so it's kind of a bummer that we can't really get Motley Crue in any physical form, but definitely a minor critique. If I have to give this album a letter grade, I'm going to give it an A-. I think a lot of the songwriting on it is really good. I actually like a lot of the production styles, and while I do think that the flow itself could use an improvement, I think that could easily be fixed just by switching around the song order a little bit. And again, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the features, but that's more of a personal taste thing more than it is against the songwriting. I am just always blown away with Post Malone. This is probably going to be in the top 5 album video that I will make at the end of the year, but only time will see. It's already been a pretty solid year for music, and we got another half of it to go. So let me know in the comments down below, if you have to give this album a letter grade, what would it be? And then also, what are your top 3 songs? If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more of these videos. I don't know what the next one's going to be, so if there's an upcoming album that you think I should pay attention to, let me know. And I do other stuff as well. So I will see you guys next time.